What's up, gamers? Cameron Ryder here, back with another commentary. Today we're back with Veridis Joe. See? I told you we'd hear from him a lot more. The video is titled, Stop Pretending 80s Cartoons Had Better Character Design. Yeah, Joe, we aren't pretending. They did have better designs. Anyways, let's get into it.
Alright, so I know that I've touched around this topic pretty generally twice already.
Ooh, new video ideas. I'll be taking those. Thank you.
But this video is going to be specifically different because, quite frankly, I'm really tired of people pretending that every 80s cartoon looked fucking great.
Firstly, cope and see. Secondly, we aren't pretending.
I can at least see the argument for early 2000s nostalgia in the quality. And I do understand that people are nostalgic for things that people grew up with. But if you really look at this shit, if you really look at it, there is no way that you can say that this is a downgrade from this, like design-wise.
Those aren't even the same character at that point. It's bad because instead of making the design look nicer and upgrading it, they just made an entirely different character.
You gotta be smoking that pack. Of course, this started off on my Twitter feed as it usually does, but more importantly, this person tweeted out a thread of She-Ra characters, and each of them having the old and new designs. And they posted it with the caption of, "This is infuriating."
So this whole video is over one Twitter thread.
Now, I'm pretty sure they were trying to prove a point, but if you look at all these designs, all of the old She-Ra designs are from the same mold.
And
you might ask, what do I mean from the same mold? Well, you see, in the 80s, toys were made, and then the toys were the designs for the cartoon. So that is why all of the protagonists and characters pretty much look the same, because they quite literally have the same mold in real life. The literal only thing that is separating these characters from looking the exact same is the clothes, accessories, and hair color.
so you're mad because the characters have the same body type? Also, why do you think the toys sold well in the first place? Because the designs were good. Why else do you think kids bought them to play with?
But besides that, they all look the fucking same. Now I could see why an old-time She-Ra fan wouldn't like the new She-Ra if that's what they're used to. But to then say that it is infuriating to look at those designs, thus trying to dunk on them, you kind of set yourself up for failure because those are objectively more imaginative designs.
Imaginative doesn't exactly equal better.
They weren't made with the intent to sell toys. They were made with the intent to be appealing.
Alright, who's gonna tell him?
And not to you for your parents' wallets.
Nah, I use my own wallet for this stuff.
They also now were made to be more inclusive and diverse.
Yes, we made the character black, so this character's better now. Seriously, how do other POCs accept race bending as representation?
And I noticed that some people have a problem with that when they shouldn't. It's not virtue signaling to add diversity in your cartoon.
You're right! What is virtue signaling is turning white characters black.
It's just inclusive of all the people watching it. And that includes body inclusivity as well.
Oh joy, he's one of those body positive people. I should have known. Let me state this right here. Fat phobia is not a thing. Fat phobia does not exist. If somebody makes fun of you for being fat, that isn't a phobia, that's just called being a dick. Let me explain to you why it's not a phobia. Racism exists because you can't just magically change your race out of nowhere. If you're black, you can't just do the Jeff the Killer thing and just become white, because you're still black. If you're white and get a tan, you don't just magically turn Latino. You're still white. Homophobia is a thing because if you're gay, you can't just magically like the opposite gender. If you're asexual, you can't just magically like dick or vagina. Sexism is real because unless you have gender dysphoria, you can't just magically turn into a man or a woman. And even then, dysphoria only leans a certain way. Transphobia is real because trans people can't just magically get rid of their dysphoria and go back to being cis. Ableism exists because people with autism can't just magically turn neurotypical. Fat people, on the other hand, can control their body weight to an extent with exercise. So no, fat phobia is not a thing.
You don't just have all skinny, buff, Amazonian men and women watching your cartoon, or kids that want to or can be those sizes.
They can, They just gotta work for it.
The one that messes me up the most is this one. Like, how can you say the one on the left is better? The one on the right is leagues more dynamic. At least there are more than 2 colors on the whole fucking outfit.
At least the older designs uses colors that pop instead of colors that are just faded.
The person also complained about them switching the sexuality of the character, as if the sexuality has any, like, meaning within the story or like a precedent that has to be set.
Then why'd they do it in the first place? Also, this is about design, not story stuff.
This person says new cartoons are just the absolute worst. Some of the laziest, most unappealing character designs I've seen. Now, when you look at 5 of these character designs next to each other and 5 of these, which group do you think put less time into coming up with their character design?
The one on the bottom, because they had the original to work with.
I say that I think the one that basically used the DeviantArt base for all their characters is the more lazy group.
Bases are meant to help people draw, so your argument is invalid.
Objectively. Someone also said that female characters aren't allowed to have breasts anymore or be curvy.
I know, right? Fucking hell.
These are kids. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like they're kids.
You mean lollies? Also, you literally watch My Hero Academia. You know, the show that sexualizes their teen characters. Now, being attracted to either isn't an issue, but don't be hypocritical with me now.
And also, like, this bitch is wearing a cloak. Like, if I can't see the imprint of her arms, why am I seeing the imprint of her chest? Is it just exclusively tight there?
What? Got a problem with boobies? Whatever, I got what I needed. Have a good night.
So am I. So am I. So am I.